We are recording finally. Oh, always have technical difficulties, but it is who it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I am JK'z. This is JK'z Rewatchable Hour. This is dual mics with JK'z because I am unsupervised and I have unlimited access to Amazon Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is Miss Carlin. How are you doing today?
Hello, Jeff. I am doing well. It's a nice day here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yes. Does that makes you a Chiefs fan?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I have no other choice.
Well, there is also the Kansas City Royals baseball team, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll just
So,
stick with the Chiefs.
Carlin, you have your own podcast called Brave Steps Forward, and you have a plethora of things that you are involved in. First, let's talk about your podcast, Brave Steps Forward.
Yeah, that's my puppy in the background. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Brave Steps Forward is basically a motivational podcast for people to, when they're not feeling like the best version of themselves, that they can always tune in and just be real and be feel safe and validated, because I just talk really raw about a lot of different subjects, basically inspiring people to do what they want to do, to go after their dreams, and to just borrow some faith and courage along the way through my podcasting.
Absolutely, and that would go hand in hand with your sign that I had noticed before. This is a safe space to be who you are. So that's I think it's really important in life to be accepted.
Yes, absolutely.
So talking with you before this, I know that you're involved with a lot of stuff. And please, if you don't want to discuss anything, that's completely respectful. But you are the founder of Life Ignited. Would you like to talk on that?
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's a company where I get to coach women who want to do more self-discovery work, who want to invest in themselves. Typically, it's women around anywhere from like 30 to 50, just because they've been serving other people for a long time. They've have a family. They are successful in their careers, like they're managers. They manage people, but they feel very overwhelmed, stressed out, and they are finally saying, "Okay, I need to focus on myself. I'm getting really depleted and tired of life," and so that's a very dangerous, spot to be in. And so I love to come alongside and kind of guide them through the process to reconnect with who they really are.
I think that's really important being and having the platform that you have and being the voice for people to connect with. Like, it sounds like there's people who are unsure of themselves, and you are giving them the belief that you can be more than just what you see in the mirror every day. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah, and even to add to that, just more than what you do. Like you're not what you do. So I love, people, it's good to change, and it's good to go after your highest potential, because we all have so much potential. It doesn't matter what background, if you were abused or not, if you are rich or not. Everyone has their own skills and talents and dreams. And so it's really sad, and it's a big burden when you don't fulfill your potential.
100%. I absolutely agree with every word you just said. You are also, and I apologize if I mispronounce this, a certified somatic practitioner.
Yes. So my background is in social work. That's what my degree is. I'm getting licensed here in a year, and I will get to work like in hospitals. We're everywhere as a licensed social worker, master's level. But in the meantime, I do offer coaching services, and the somatic part is connecting to your body. When people are very stressed out or have past trauma, your body holds on to the nerves, to the scarcity, to the flight, freeze, to all of that we hear. It's very popular nowadays to hear those words in social media. And so instead of just hearing it, I actually help the client dissolve it in their body. And so that's why it's called somatic, which is another way to say body.
That is incredible. Yeah, I actually just learned something new today, which I think is very helpful. Um, and also, you are very passionate and you advocate for mind and body.
Yes, that's the way to do it. Not just to logically live life like, oh, what's right, what's wrong. There's more to just living by rules. There's also like, what do you want? What does your body desire? What does your heart want? What's it saying to you? And so it's that balance between both of them, and teaching them how to communicate with their heart. I know it sounds like woo woo, but it's not. It's really it's very impactful.
No, I mean it makes perfect sense, and if I'm wrong by saying this, let me know. It's almost like a form of healing. Like, is that fair to say? I don't want to discredit what you're saying.
Absolutely, because a lot of people are walking around like frozen, or just like numbing, coping, and not really thriving.
Excellent.
So,
That's I like that. I like the fact that you're just not on one level. You're on multiple levels of trying to help an individual be better, live better, think better, feel better. Um, so that's also where the connection and the personal transformation comes in. You
exactly.
want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, the personal. So it's we go through like discovery phases of like, who are you, your identity. And then I take them through the next pillar, which is really testing out, what is your heart saying? What have you always wanted to do? You test those things out. I really do a lot of hand holding in the beginning of the phase until this person becomes more resilient. Um, I teach them how to articulate emotions and communicate them. And then in the last phase, I'm just really like an accountability person, and they do maintenance work in their journey to not fall back in their past habits. And they start really living an ignited life, a life that they dreamed about. They've always, a lot of people who have trauma like myself. I used to dream a lot because that was the only thing I had, just to dream. But I actually made it happen, and now I get to dream even bigger. So
Um, when you're with what you just said, when you're trying to help people, and you start off with, um, I'll just use a different terminology, kid gloves. Do you find that is a challenge with people, or is that like the easiest part? I hope I didn't discredit what you do by saying the easiest part.
the you said the kid gloving.
Yeah, you know how you start off and you take it easy, so until you become resilient.
Okay.
Is that like a hard thing to do,
For
or
me
what's
as a practitioner or the client?
both?
Um, Taking it easy. Um, Actually, no. For me, I love to see like the awe and the wonder in clients' faces, because no one has taken the time to listen to them in a safe manner, in a with the education that I have. And also, that person hasn't taken the time to do the work before. And so for the first time, they're sitting down and they're putting things together and connecting dots, connecting their upbringing, connecting their dreams, their talents, and they're like, wow, like there's more to me than I've ever knew. And they get so happy and they start glowing. So for me, I think it's the best part, because yeah, I see them transform.
When you were talking, I could see the expression come over. So it's obvious you're very passionate and you love what you do. Um, and you also help people overcome fear and release stress. If you want to talk on that and give an example.
Yeah, well, I'm a survivor of abuse, spiritual abuse. My puppy's biting me. Spiritual spiritual abuse. My parents weren't the best. They did what they could. They were teen parents. Um, a lot of bullying at in school, physical abuse, and so as I it took mentors and coaching for me to get through all of that, to feel the pain, to heal it. And so I saw how my this puppy.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just I could hear your puppy in the background.
Oh man. I just I've been on the other side, and so that just that just puts me higher in the market to really be able to help people, even heal faster, because I know what I'm doing and I know what the process is like. I've been there before. So
Okay. All right. Um, I first and foremost, I thank you for sharing some of that personal uh, about yourself. Oh, somebody's gonna make a cameo? Nope. Um, I just want to know that out of respect, I won't allow any of the comments if when this goes anywhere to for what you just shared. I don't. I appreciate you sharing that personal information. You had touched on it already, but you had said align with their true purpose. So basically, if somebody's talking to you and you get a sense to know them, is that how you direct them to the right line where they should be, or try to help them?
I'm gonna carry him so that he stops.
You're fine.
Okay. So do you mind repeating that?
It's fine. Um, if I can. Okay, so one of the things that you had said, and I had taken notes, you help people align with their true purpose. So when you meet with somebody and you're talking, is that how you get a sense of who they are and what they could be, and that's how you help them?
Yeah, yeah, I can elaborate on that. Aligning really, like, first you like is the self-discovery part, because they need to know like who they are, what they like, their preferences, where their boundaries are at. And so after that, then they get to discover their values, and then what are they most passionate about, what do they stand for. And so then they get to see, okay, what am I doing right now, in my life that is not aligning with those values. And then they get to start, putting boundaries or letting go of certain people, certain places that they go to. So it's a beautiful process, because you see them bloom, and letting go is not easy for everyone. So that's what I mean when you start aligning your values with your decisions, with, how you behave.
Right, right. Um, what is the typical garden variety amount of time that you spend with an individual or individuals?
Yeah, I spend 6 months to 12 months. That's that 6 months is minimum. I won't work with someone for just 1 month, because you know, I actually like when people get results. I'm not here for the money. So yeah, and I typically coach once a week.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, on a typical week, could you have two or three people you're helping? Okay. So,
Yeah, yes. So I do group coaching, and I make them very small. So right now I have two group, coach calls, Mondays and Thursdays, and it's about 5 to 7 people, and I keep them really small and separate, because it's just it's just better that way when everybody gets to talk, to ask questions, to feel relaxed, and to practice communication skills. Um, and then I coach them for an hour and a half, and then the other 30 minutes, they get to build community amongst each other. So my thing is that I like building community because they're like-minded people. They're, fighting for their health, for their dreams. And so it's always good to have people like that in your life when you're going through a process like that.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to assume, and if I'm wrong, correct me. The small group makes it easier not only for you and what you're trying to accomplish, but I know huge groups. If people don't want to talk, they're not going to really uh, participate in a big group. So that's why you keep it to 5 to 7 people. And um, if you could, without giving away personal information, when you get 5 or 7 people together, if you could just maybe describe like what a typical day would be, if you would. Your puppy's fine.
For me, like during the day to prepare, or what is the group section
I,
like?
no, actually, that you brought in another good point. So yeah, so like on a Monday, you're going to have 5 to 7 people, and you're preparing. If you want to just elaborate what your preparation is, and then what really goes on in your group. Like if you could give a I don't know what the word I would say because I know certain things you can't
Glimpse.
say.
A glimpse.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So for during the day, when I know that I'm going to be spending a lot of time with people and I'm going to give a lot of myself, I do protect my energy during the day. I don't really go out and spend my social energy. Um, I do work out before the session just so that I am focused and my adrenaline is going. um, what else? I eat well. I mean, every day I eat well, but I make sure that I'm not like I miss a meal before I'm coaching people. Then I'm gonna be distracted with being hungry. um, what else? I do prepare spiritually. I am a Christian, and so I do just pray for people that I'm gonna be, coach, and I ask God for wisdom, for enlightenment, and for his hand over like everything that goes on meaning like some people um so now I'm going to go into like the session. Sometimes someone wants to get to the point really fast, like what is she teaching, what am I teaching, but someone might need to slow down a little bit because they had a rough day. And so for me it's like I'm juggling different personalities and people and making sure I meet all of their needs. And so that's why I also keep it like small, so that as I continue to build my own skills, I'm able to navigate through the different personalities and needs. We always start with a somatic practice, which is like tuning in to your body scanning. What's your pain level? Do you have pain in your shoulders? Some breath work. And then we go into like the lesson of the week, because I do have a 12-week course. So we follow that outline. And then they get to ask questions, and then we do an activity to reinforce and to learn how to implement the information. So that's what it looks like.
I think that's actually an amazing day to help change and sculpt lives. I think that's very commendable, and I applaud you for that. Um, one of the last things of the notes I took was, and I'm really interested in this part, as I am of the entire show. You said that you want people to embrace authenticity. Would you elaborate more on that?
Yeah. See, I grew up with in the church, in the Christian church, and sometimes a lot of the people were were trying so hard to follow the rules that they missed out on being real. It was like a facade, and that's where the spiritual abuse happened. And so I'm more of like, I need to see what you're preaching, what you're saying, what you stand for. Like, I'm just not going to listen to you. So that was very marked and shaped in me. And so oftentimes I sometimes reveal too much on social media because I just want to be real with the people that I'm ministering to or helping, and I want them to feel safe with me, and I want them to do the same with their family and their people. I want them to have that freedom of like, this is me, this is who I am. Maybe I'm not perfect, or I'm not where I want to be, but this is where I'm at, and I want them to be able to say that and not be scared of, I call it, of humanity, of men, of not men of like males, but just like humans. But just own your story and own who you are.
Um, the last part you just said, own your story. That's very powerful, and I think more people need to actually know what that means. Um, you, other than all the stuff that we covered, I know you like to travel.
I do.
I've seen. Yeah, we follow each other on social media. I mean, you are. I'm not sure where you just went, but I know that you love to travel. Would you like to, if you want to indulge us in some of your travels and places where you've been?
Sure. Well, I recently went to Costa Rica. I have a friend over there. Um, and we stayed at her house in the mountains, so that was really nice. I'm currently working on a book that I'm writing, and so I needed that space to just focus on that. My puppy doesn't let me focus on anything when I'm here.
I can't tell.
And what else? I really like to immerse myself in different cultures. I was mentored, I'm still mentored by them, but a missionary couple that took me in after, like, helping me out of an abusive relationship. And I I see how they're in their 70s and they still travel a lot. Um, they do it and I do it to immerse myself in other cultures and not to be so stuck in like my ways or in my perspective or the American perspective. And so I just like to get out there and become more resilient, like get to know how other people are living, and not assume that my way is the right way. And so I also speak Spanish. I'm bilingual, so I like going to different countries and using my Spanish. Um, but yeah, the next trip actually is in Europe, um, and that one is focused on missionary work. So yeah.
Okay. Um, can you count on your hands how many different places you've traveled outside of the U.S.? No, but
No.
that's a good thing. But that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely love traveling. Um, so as our listeners and viewers are going to see, uh, your puppy will not leave you alone. What kind of puppy do you have, and what's the puppy's name?
Yeah, he is an Alaskan Klekai. I finally got it right. I kept saying it or the different way, Alaskan Klakli. My brain couldn't say it, but and he's 4 months old, and his name is Genesis.
Okay, nice, nice. It was
Yes.
funny. I saw you the one time. It looked like he was pulling your pant leg or something. Because
Yeah, he was biting my toes. He loves to be outside. He's very energetic. And so I need to take him out like maybe 2 or 3 times a day, especially right now that it's a beautiful day. And so that's why he's, telling me, let's go outside.
well, I'm not going to keep you much longer because I know it's Sunday. I'm just looking at the what is the sign hanging around your light? It says vibe something, I believe.
Yeah, it's a vibe check, just like a reminder, a visual reminder to people of like, this is like a negative vibe, because people nowadays say vibe all the time. But frustration, impatient, worry, rage, jealousy, guilt, powerlessness, fear, insecurity, hatred, anger, doubt, irritation, pessimism. Like if you're feeling that, some people live in that and they don't realize it. And so I call them to like, okay, let's see what it's like to go up here and experience joy, passion, belief, positivity, eagerness, love, freedom, hopefulness, contentment. And then we talk about that, like how we like I help them plan, like how are you going to do that this week?
That is an incredible thing because I'm going to assume that the bottom is all negative and the top is the positive. So it's like a different way of looking at something.
Yeah, exactly.
That is, I like that, and I love your sign. Our shirt is, it's just we say that we're the 3 a.m. friend, not just the 6 p.m. friend, which strictly means some people don't answer their phone after 6 p.m. But I absolutely love that sign that this is a space to be who you are. That's very powerful. That's very important. And it's very respectful. I know it's Sunday, and I know that you spent yesterday with your grandma.
I did. It was my last day with her, and I said, "Why did I schedule this on the last day?" So I spent some time with her.
Absolutely, and I hope that you guys had a great day. I thought I saw some pictures of you guys smiling, and so
We did. Yeah, she actually raised me until I was 10, so she's like a grandmother slash mother figure for me. So
okay, all right.
yeah.
Well, I know that your dog Genesis is he needs to go out and he needs to run around for a while. But Carlin, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you were just busy 24/7. I appreciate you coming on the show, and I will make sure that your Brave Steps Forward is plastered all over everything that this is going to get uploaded to. So, with that, I want to say thank you. This has been J Dubs. This is JK's Rewatchable Hour. And I think you're recording, so you'll have to stop recording because, yep.
Alrighty. Thank you.
You just stumbled upon JK's Rewatchable Hour.